Welcome back. If you've already seen the introduction to SAT video and if you've seen the writing section, reading section, and you've practiced everything over there, now it's time to begin the writing section. If you haven't done the reading yet and you want to start with the writing section, it's absolutely up to you. Let's look at what happens in the SAT writing section. Let's introduce you to this writing section first. So what you're basically tested on is the grammatical errors in the sentence, the way we speak English and the way we write, how SAT expects you to write. They're very different. So over here, what we are going to learn is that this is exactly what the correct structure is. This is how you should write it. Then it is also going to test you on something which is called punctuation. Part of grammar, we will be discussing where to put a comma, like in this sentence, this comma is incorrect. Why are you putting it here? It ends. Or if you have two words, you should not put comma, you should put and. So these are the kind of things you will be looking at in SAT. It also tests you on are the words that are written in a particular place in the passage, are they correctly written or can you replace them with a better word? No, instead of writing three words, if you can use one word to represent the same meaning, it's always preferred. So SAT prefers concise and active sentences. So that is what it's going to test. Next is about the sentences. So it's not just the words, are they used correctly? It's also about, is the sentence placed in the correct place? Should you put it above or below, or should you just not have it? Or should you continue with three or four more words? That's again something that SAT would want to check. How do you get that? You will be able to see in the other videos of mine. Then it also tests you on graph, not very difficult, quite easy rather. So there's a graph given, it could be a table, it could be a pie chart, it could be a bar graph, or it could be a line graph. And then according to that particular graph is the passage also giving the same information. So you match both of them. That's the graph-based question. Not very common, so you'll not have it with every passage that you see, but with a few passages. Okay. Mostly the grammar questions that you see would look like this. You won't have only one sentence, of course. So you will have a passage, and then passage will have this particular line. Of this particular line, this thing will be underlined. So two words are underlined, or maybe three words, or sometimes the entire sentence is underlined based on what is it that SAT wants to check. Let's see, how do we solve it? Let's look at the approach first and then go back to looking at all the other videos of mine in which I've explained you all the rules. Here, Lily and Sarah noticed that she was not dressed properly for the meeting. The moment you read it, you ask yourself, okay, somebody was not dressed. Now, who's that somebody? This person or this person? We don't know. Because of this tree, we don't know. So what do? We look at the options. Lily was, Lily were, they were. Confusion. Now, we know that she was is incorrect. We know that Lily is singular, so we should not use were. It has to be singular. Now, between Lily was and they were, how do you decide what to choose? Right? So this is where the trick comes. Now, you should not just say that, oh, it's Sarah and Lily, so there are two people, so it should be they were. I'm not saying they were is grammatically incorrect. Lily was or they were, both are grammatically correct. This is where SAT tests you. Are you reading the passage? So when you solve this question and you're down to these two options, B and D, you ask yourself, let me read a line above and a line below to get an idea that when you say not dressed properly for the meeting, who's going to the meeting, or who was seen in this or that way in the meeting, who are we focusing on. So all of that, the entire story that you get from reading the passage, at least a line below and above, will tell you, should you choose Lily was not dressed properly, or should you choose that both of them were not dressed? That is option D. So if you see, grammatically both can be correct, but as per the passage, what is correct is what you will be testing, what you would be tested on. Okay, so that's one trap where many students make mistake. They're like, oh yeah, this is correct, let's choose it and let's not go to the passage. But that doesn't happen on SAT. You have to refer to the passage and the sentence together. Okay, now let's see. So this is very common. This is not even testing you a lot on grammar rule. But what are the grammar rules that are tested? Let's look at them. So the commonly tested grammar rules are these 10. Now, I'm not saying that SAT will not go beyond and not test anything, but let's say most of your tests, or 90% of your test, all the grammar rules that are tested will be amongst over these. So you can easily think of scoring a 1500 plus, or let's say if your maths isn't great but your English is where you're depending on, then at least a 750 is something you can think. If you know all of these, maybe 50 points you lose here and there for something. Now, the commonly tested grammar rules are subject-verb agreement, pronouns, verb tense, punctuation, modifier, parallel structure or parallelism, comparisons. So these are the rules. Then sometimes SAT tests you on frequently confused words, wordiness or idioms. We will be discussing each of these in details in separate video. If you have done these grammar rules in your school somewhere here and there, then good. If you have not, then also it is okay, because I'm going to take you through the very basics and tell you that this is how the rule is, and then we'll discuss the question. Okay. So this is all for this video. This is only about the introduction of SAT. Please move on to another video. Please like my video and subscribe for more.